to some politics now. Hillary Clinton leading in most of the battleground states roughly 2 months before the election. According to the Real Clear Politics average, she has a 6-point lead over Donald Trump in Pennsylvania, a nearly 4-point lead in Ohio, 2-point lead in Florida, and she's more than 9 points ahead in New Hampshire. So with the news that some of the national polls might be tightening, we wanted to talk about this with Joe Trippi, former campaign manager for Howard Dean's campaign, as well as a Fox News contributor, and Eric Fernstrom, senior advisor to Mitt Romney's 2008 and 2012 presidential campaigns. It's great to have you both, as we have some breaking news as well. The FBI just putting on its website its background, if you will, for its investigation into Hillary Clinton's server. And they've done so, by the way, because of pressure on them asking why they decided not to charge her with any sort of a crime, Joe. So that's happening right now. We're sifting through some of that. To bring these two news items together, what impact do you think this continuing questions about the emails and the foundation, what impact does it have on Hillary Clinton, specifically when it comes to these key battleground states?
Well, I mean, in the key states, I mean, obviously it's weighed on her. Her trust and honesty numbers are bad. They're about equal, though, between her and Trump on that measure. And so, look, I think in the end, people have already made their judgments about Hillary Clinton. I think a lot of them made their judgments about Donald Trump. I think the race is going to get closer in national polls. But when you look at the electoral advantage that Democrats traditionally have had, and particularly in the last 6 presidential elections, she's got to win 1 or 2 of these swing states, these battleground states we're talking about. Trump literally has to win just about every one of them. And the Clinton campaign has gone on the air now in Arizona, trying to even sort of spread even more of those battlegrounds out. I don't think they're going to win Arizona,
but they're doing that. They're putting some investment there, Eric. What have you learned from your past campaigns? What would you tell Donald Trump in order to make the polls tighten in those key battleground states where he actually does need to win?
Well, look, you know, I happen to think that the Clinton campaign is violating one of the cardinal rules of politics, which is that you should under-promise and over-deliver. And instead, we're reading stories about the Clinton campaign expecting a landslide. Look, there's no question that right now Hillary Clinton is the front runner. But as we get past Labor Day, the gap between her and Trump is going to narrow. People are going to figure out. People will figure out there is an election going on. They will, despite whatever doubts they have about their nominee, they are going to return to their respective camps. Democrats with Democrats, Republicans with Republicans. Another thing to keep in mind here is that these low expectations that the Clinton campaign is creating for Donald Trump will help him. We saw how that worked to his advantage when he went to Mexico City and stood on the same stage with the president of Mexico. We're going to go into the first debate with low expectations for Trump. Okay. If he just shows up and acts presidential, he'll be judged the winner.
Is that enough, Joe, to make those polls tighten in the key areas that you say they need to for Donald Trump?
I really don't see that happening, and I'm not trying to be, partisan here. I think part of what's going on is people forget sometimes that Obama beat Romney only by 3.9 percentage points nationwide, but it was a huge electoral victory, 332 electoral votes, because it is about these state-by-state battles. Trump is behind in every single one of those swing battleground states, and like I said, he at this point he can close this to 3 or 4 points,
so
as
quickly,
Romney
Eric,
did.
I only have about 10 seconds. What is one thing that Donald Trump has to do to tighten those polls in those key states?
Keep the focus on Hillary Clinton and her dishonesty. The bad headlines for her just keep piling up.
We'll see if they continue this weekend as people continue to look through these FBI documents. Eric, Joe, great to have you both. Thank you so much.
Good to be with you, Jenna.